Guys, this week on the Real DVD Watchers I'm going to do a really quick review of a movie, mainly because I've only watched one movie this week and that movie doesn't really take a long time to discuss or review. So yeah, that movie is Crank High Voltage, which is basically Crank 2. Very handy. No, that's The Village. Crank basically starred Jason Statham and Amy Smart and was about a character named Chev Chelios, who wakes up and he's been drugged and basically, he's been poisoned, and the only way to stay alive is to keep his adrenaline flowing. And this movie actually ended, big spoilers, with him falling from the sky, and basically you think he's dead, but of course he isn't, because there's Crank 2 High Voltage. It's not actually called Crank 2, I think it's just called Crank High Voltage. This movie, a lot of the plots, points and stuff and the characters from this movie roll into the second, which I was quite surprised about. It's pretty much a continuation of this movie. You could easily stick them together and watch them back to back, because it is a continuous thing. And stupidly, I hadn't watched this one for a while, so I did kind of forget parts of it. But it does introduce things in a way that, if you haven't watched it before, you're still going to get it. That one ended with him falling to his death, and in fact he doesn't die. He wakes up in the hospital, and a gang is taking out his heart and replaces his heart with a synthetic heart. Is that what I think it's called? Well, it's basically like a robot heart. It's a power pack which he has to keep charging to keep it pumping. So the whole movie is about him trying to get his heart back from this group who are giving it to this. I'm not going to get too much into the plot because the plot is just stupid. It's a really stupid plot. But the main part of this movie is really fun and enjoyable, and the plot isn't that important. It's good, it serves its purpose of keeping you wanting to watch the film, but the main thing about this movie is the action. So many memorable scenes. There's shootouts, car chases. Seen the first one, then you know what to expect from the second, because the second is basically the first one times 2, I guess, which is the point, I suppose, of making a sequel. Action and the editing in this movie is just insane. It's so fast. It's one of those movies that just flows by, because the action and everything that's on the screen is going by so quickly that you don't really realise how much time has gone by. I don't really know what to say. It's one of those adrenaline action movies that is actually really good, and I really did enjoy it. It's fun to watch, and it's a movie that you can probably watch again and again, because it is fun to watch. Like I said, there is one scene that I really didn't like, which is kind of like a homage to like the Godzilla kind of movies, where really strange, where the two characters, Chev Chelios and the guy he's fighting, suddenly become giants with like these massive heads and start fighting, and it's just insane. I did not like that. Was just a bit weird. That was too weird, and it just seemed a bit stupid. Great, so many great things about it that I can't really talk about because I don't really remember them. But it was good. It was a really good film, and I highly recommend watching it. And if you haven't seen the first one, check that one out first, because it does pay to watch this one prior to going and seeing the second one. So yeah, that's Crank. Go and watch Crank High Voltage, because it's pretty good.